Got
All
it.
right,
Got it.
Bobby Smith, how's it going?
Great, great, great. How you doing, Gillian?
Good. I'm super stoked to have you on today. So you just completed over 100 days of a watermelon fast, watermelon island, mono watermelon, eating only watermelon. So we're going to talk about what happened and let's get right into it. So how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It was a wonderful experience. It was 108 days altogether of it was all 80 days of all watermelon. And then I completed the rest of the 108 days with I added like honeydew melon and cantaloupe.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Wow. That's the longest I've known anybody do that cleanse. So I knew somebody, my friend Leo, he did 60 days once and he was like vibing so high, like never felt better. Like I remember seeing his videos. And I did, I think, 21 days. It was an amazing experience. But what led you to this cleanse? Why did you want to do this?
What led me to it was I was okay, so I've been doing challenges all last year. Or all this year, actually. I've been doing challenges.
Yeah.
So what happened was I think it was February, I did 50 days of oranges and I got to like 36 days of oranges. And I remember at the time, I was thinking like, that was all fine and dandy, but I wasn't a big orange fan like that. That was my first time really indulging in oranges like that. So
Yeah.
once I started, when I was thinking like when the summer get here, watermelon is my favorite fruit. I told my friend, I said, I'm going to eat watermelon from May until October. But I was just playing around. I really didn't mean it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just saying it to be saying it. But when it came around to do it, it kind of made sense for me because I like challenging myself. I was feeling a little bad. I was coming off of 30 days of smoothies. But at the time, I was eating a lot of cashews and lentil chips and stuff like that. So I was starting to bulk up a little bit. And I just felt like I needed a cleanse. And I went straight into the watermelon on May 15th.
It's a great cleanse. Like I did 5 days this year, not like 108, but it still felt amazing. And for anybody who doesn't know, like you had a huge health transformation just eating like mostly fruit in general, right? Like a variety of different fruits. But I think I interviewed you before. I'll link the video down below. I think you lost over 100 pounds, right? Just eating fruit.
Yeah, I lost a total of 146 pounds in 11
Wow.
months. Yeah, eating all fruit. And that's why during the watermelon challenge, over the 100 days, I only lost 28 pounds. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? I lost 28 pounds because I was already so light. So I had got up. People laugh at me when I say I got up to 148 pounds, but I got to 148 pounds and I could feel it though. I felt uncomfortable, like sitting down and stuff. I felt the extra weight on me. So when I got the weight off of me, I felt way lighter and better. Even though it was a big fuss about how I looked, I felt really, really, really good.
Yeah. So what did you weigh at your highest then?
At my highest ever in life, I weighed 320 pounds.
Wow. And then you went down to 148.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you experienced some judgment when you weighed over 300 pounds, right? And would you say
Oh,
you
yeah.
experience some judgment now, even doing the watermelon diet? Like, what do you have to say to people who say like, because it's like one extreme to the other. What do you have to say to people who are like, oh, it's too skinny, Bobby. You don't look good. It's not healthy. Like, what are your thoughts on that if people bring that up online?
It's crazy to me, because when you coming from 320 pounds, so I really came from 268 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was right when I started my journey. So when you come in from 268 pounds and I got down to 122 pounds.
Wow.
So when you get that low, but 122 is the best I ever felt in my life. Like I
Yeah.
felt airy and light and tremendous. But it's crazy to me that people think being skinny is a problem.
Yeah.
When you feel this good, it really don't matter how you look. It really don't.
Yeah.
Like, and I've been on both sides of the spectrum now too. So I've been overweight and unhealthy, and I've been super skinny now. So I've been in both. I've seen both people get attacked. It's no different. A fat person or an overweight person or whatever you want to call them, they get attacked, but skinny people get attacked too.
Mm-hmm.
It's no difference than a big person saying, oh, you too skinny, or look at the skin sagging off of your bones and all of that. It's the same feeling I got though when I was a fat person that people was talking about. So it's the same feeling, even though I don't care about it as much.
That's
But
what I
you
was gonna
still
ask you. I was gonna say, like,
exactly.
you probably don't care about it as much because I feel like you've just gotten so healthy, right? And I'm sure that's affected your mental health, right? Like what has this experience, like, how has your mental health and your happiness and everything changed through all this, through the fruit and through the cleansing and everything?
Okay, before I started this, I told people, watch how my mental clarity changed, watch how my life changed and all that. I said that. My life started changing immediately. 30 days into this, I quit my job. I got possession of my son. Now I got custody of him.
No way. I don't
And
think you did when I interviewed you last, did you? No
no,
way.
my son wasn't living with me at all.
That just
And
gave me goosebumps. Wow.
yeah, I got my son with me now. He doing better. I'm online all day, helping people and motivating people and encouraging people. And that's all in a matter of 100 days.
Yeah.
And it's intentional too. I set out to be like every challenge I do is to become a more high level being. I got a certain point that I'm trying to get to, no matter who understands it or not. Like people always ask, why are you doing this extended watermelon fast? Next, I'm doing grapes and other things too. So it's because I want to become the best version of myself. And the more and more I do this, the better I feel.
Mm-hmm. And you probably have a better, well, congrats on your son moving in. You probably have a better relationship with him and probably like better relationships in your life now too, right?
Oh yeah, everything's better. Online relationships, and people are so encouraged and motivated by it that I'm meeting people all over the world. 𝒔𝒂𝒗𝒆, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but 𝒔𝒂𝒗𝒆,
No.
he's my brother from Ohio. He's not my actual brother, but we met not during this, but like right before this kind of. He was in my Facebook group, and he started 2 days before me. He's still going right now. He like
Wow.
on day like 113 or something.
Wow.
So, and now we got invited to speak at the Woodstock Fruit Festival together in January. So we're
Yeah.
gonna be in Miami together, and it's a lot of stuff that changed, a lot of opportunities that came, a lot of people who I was in my life, not in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff that changed, new people in my life. So I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it, and it makes me want to do more things like this going forward.
Yeah, because like who knows where you'd be right now if you didn't start all this? You know what I mean? If you didn't start all the fruit stuff and start eating like real living foods, you know?
I wouldn't be. You know what? When you say something like that, if I wasn't eating real living foods, I wouldn't be living because I was near death. You know what I'm saying? I was literally biologically dead anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So when I at this point now, I feel like I got full life back. You know what I mean? Like especially doing stuff like this, I'm becoming like really known for just eating fruits.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's a tremendous experience to be known for something this high level, being able to control your intake of what you eat, and that work and trickle down to other areas of your life. When you start eating like this, you start having more control of who you have around you, more control of your sexual experiences. Like I've been practicing semen retention. I've been doing
Mm-hmm.
all of it together, and it make your mind like elevated. Like you do not want to share this energy with just anybody.
So true.
Yeah, it's real talk. And the other day, I was outside grounded, and I grounded for like an hour, right? And I was watching an ant on the ground for like an hour, like
Mm-hmm.
just watching it. And it was a tremendous experience on how hard these ants work. Then after that, because I hug trees and everything now. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, a butterfly circled me like 20 times. It looked like it
Wow.
was trying to land on me. And it's just being in nature, everything like the whole experience. I tell people, when you do things that you say that you're gonna do, it elevates your mind. People only feel bad on their daily activity and their daily life when they lie to themselves about small things. I said I was going to do this. I said that I was going to do this. That sets your mentality back, and that's like a form of procrastination. And that's what a process is too. Processes are forms of procrastination because it stops you from doing something and
Mm-hmm.
puts it in a process and elongates it. But you can just do things, jump straight into it and just do it.
And do you have tips for somebody who wants to like get into a watermelon fast or into a healthier
Uh,
lifestyle, eat raw like
if you
us, but
want to,
like they have a hard time, you know, like the cravings or like society doesn't eat this way. They still want to connect with people. Like, what's your advice?
if you want to do watermelon, I would say, well, for me, I'm gonna say this. for me, it was a little easier because I'm coming from eating all fruits anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to get into it like so many have, you really just start eating watermelon. And what you notice is that you get full fast and you start actually enjoying the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start eating it more and more, like now I can taste all fruits like to the highest form. Like I like conventional fruit out the grocery store, non-organic is the best thing on the planet right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's after you done trained your taste buds to this level and been on one fruit this long. So I would just say, just start. Starting is the point. It ain't nothing really else to do. People know what their ability levels are.
Mm-hmm.
People know where they can start at. So you have to start where you know you can start and eat it in all forms. Drink it and eat it. Like I blend it, I juice it, and I eat it.
That's what you did on your fast? You were doing all of that?
On my fast, I didn't juice it. I did not juice it. I blended it. I blended it and I ate it. So I froze it and had frozen watermelon and fresh watermelon, and I would blend that and have like a slushy. And then I would eat watermelon whenever I felt hungry.
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty easy. I mean, I think a lot of people are like, well, what do you do for this watermelon fast? But it's like you said, you just get started, you start eating it. And it's great when you're doing a cleanse with just the one food because your body knows it's like almost impossible to overeat. You get really satisfied and then you just stop eating when you're full and you start eating again when you're hungry. And it's really easy, right? Is that like, how many would you say you were eating in a day? And like any other tips for somebody who wants to do it?
Okay, I started off eating maybe a whole watermelon a day. And that's because I was excited about the cleanse. And I'm one of them people, like, I indulge in it when I'm first starting off.
Mm-hmm.
But as it go on, I'll be less hungry. It'd be some days I don't even eat.
Wow.
Like I'll just have like a 50-ounce slushy and I'll drink on that all day in a thermal cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't even finish it all because I'm not thinking about eating as much. But people starting off with a lot of weight on them and they have big appetites, you're gonna eat a lot, you're gonna need to eat a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the difficult part is. So that's the part that's hard for me to relate to when it comes to the watermelon washout, because I didn't start off in that state. You know what I'm saying? I started off eating high fruits. I started off not weighing that much. So, and I didn't want to continue to lose weight at the rate I was.
No.
So yeah, so it's just got to start, eat as much as you can. Eat it in all forms.
Yeah. And what would you say are like the benefits you noticed from doing it? Like any major benefits, any differences from like how you normally eat to just the watermelon?
Oh yeah, like, so going back to it or just during the process?
Like during, or even, was it hard at the beginning? Or I guess for you, it was pretty easy, probably.
Yeah, I was excited. I couldn't wait to what I started it earlier than I anticipated starting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was excited to start eating it. And listen, and everybody be like, did you mess up on the challenge? Did you mess up on the challenge? I didn't mess up on the challenge. But what happens is, this is because I trained myself not to mess up on challenges. Every other challenge before this, I would experience it at the level of being terrible. Because I would like cheat once a week. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's what I really prided myself on this time. And I think that's why the energy level was so massive around the whole experience. And we had a whole lot of people joining. So
yeah,
I feel like a new human being. I have new experiences. I have new things to look forward to. And life is simple. I keep life real simple. I don't expect too much out of life other than being healthy and getting back to nature. And I don't want to accumulate a whole lot of things. I don't indulge and make online my whole life. I can get on it and off of it if I really want to. Like, I really stay humble to myself. And this experience just got me wanting to challenge myself even more, see how much better I can feel and see how further I can go. And once I get done with this, I have other plans to not even really be online and doing all this stuff as much, because I'm going to be a mono eater. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in nature. I don't even want to be a part of all this electrical grid and all that. I just really have a focus, and I'm paving the way for my intent. That's it.
wow. And I feel like you just get more and more inspiring and confident and strong as time goes on. Like you had such a big transformation when I interviewed you last, but I even see such a big difference in you even now. You've come so far. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's intentional too. You know, this is by design. Like when your intentions are everything in life. You know what I'm saying? Like what you get up and intend to do for yourself, it trickles down for the rest of your day, the rest of your life. So if you get up and are intentional about being a great human being, just a great person and being in joy and feeling awesome all the time. And it's not gonna always work that way, but if your intention is that way, even on the bad days, you don't feel bad. Like
Hmm.
I'm not rich. I'm still in the when you interviewed me last time, I was in the same exact location.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the same, I got the same things going on. I don't have a lot of money. I'm still in the same apartment. But I'm satisfied with that because I'm so enjoyed with myself and how I feel and the things that I'm doing for myself. And that makes the outlook great no matter how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing the
Wow.
best I can for myself.
I love that. So would you say like the watermelon island and the way you eat in general, but probably specifically the watermelon island, has it made you feel more connected and more spiritual? Like, were you like this before all this?
It was I wasn't quite like this, but right around the time we had our last interview, I had already started, like looking at practices of grounding and getting back into nature because I was going on walks, and the walk is the most underestimated thing on the earth. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like walking is eating in a form. Like you think so much to yourself, and I recommend walking without headphones for at least a half hour of your walk, especially in nature, because you get the sounds. And even if you're hearing cars and everything coming by you, whatever, all of the nature sounds, the natural sounds of what's going on around you are important. And it brings you back in tune to what's really going on. You start paying attention to things. Like when I walk now, I pay attention to the trees more, how they move, the wind, and everything. So I have become more spiritual. I've become more intentional about it though. And
Hmm.
like even going out when I ground, I'm making sure I soak up the sun. I make sure I do all my workouts in the sun as much as possible anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and that's why it's my intent to be in a warm weather climate and all of that, because that's more sustainable for this lifestyle. And you have to learn that though. But I'm fortunate to have the nature around me that I do have. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate it all. So I
And
look forward to just continuing to get better simply.
And you're right, like the nature, it does so much for us. Like I've been going through a really hard time with my relationship lately, and it's really
Mhm.
easy like if you're just inside an apartment, like I'm in an apartment too, to get down in your thoughts but if you shift that right away and like go for a walk or put on some music, do something like that and just transform that, it's just
Yeah,
life changing, right? The walks do so much. You're right. I'm in the city,
they
like you said,
do.
even with the cars, they do so much. Well, with the watermelon cleanse, were there any negatives? Like, did you feel any negatives at all? Or like, did you have moments where you felt like quitting?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man, that's just a part of the process because when you going through a process, you always want to finish it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a part of it. So you always look forward to the end. And I got tired of eating watermelon at times, even though it was easy to get over being tired because I knew
Mhm.
what I was doing. So at times I did. At one time, I felt a little weak. At one point, I felt a little weak, but at times like that, I would just lay down, rejuvenate my body. I know that that's all I have to do. I'm drinking plenty of fluids with the slushies. I'm eating watermelon every time I think about getting hungry or anything. So
Mhm.
um, those were probably the most difficult times. But other than that, no, it was a great experience.
Good, and, like, what would you say is your favorite part?
The emotional experiences. Like it was like at times it was overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the things I went through in the relationship with my son that I'm going through right now and learning him. And my son is teaching me more than anything on the earth. Like, and I never knew because you don't like when you in a drunken state and you eating bad and you miserable and you ain't really caring about your life, you don't really pay attention to your kids the way you really should. And that's how I know we in a bad state because when I popped out of it and I started tuning into my son, especially when he moved in, I started looking at him and paying attention to his emotions and how he
Wow.
reacts to stuff. And I'm like, I remember when I reacted like that. I remember when I felt like that. And now it's like you got a chance to go back into time and fix how you felt. So he will never have to feel that way. So I'm more in tune with him. He make me more patient because at times I'll be upset with him. And I go back and think like, man, that, like I didn't mean to yell at you at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel his pain. So yeah, my son, that's been the most joyous experience. My daughter, our relationship had already been kind of strong, but even our relationship strengthened just naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's been very, very joyous having healthy, strong relationships around me, because that's something that I truly.
And imagine, like, it's so important how we raise our kids, right? And what we go through, like from your kids' perspective, what they're going through. So imagine just how you've changed their whole life and the relationships and dynamics they have with other people when they're older, because you've made these changes now. Because like the issues and the traumas we go through as a kid, and like our relationship with our parents, and in particular, that just sets the stage for like, if we had certain dynamics with our parents as a kid, when we get older, like they say, we tend to choose and attract relationships that feel familiar. So if like the relationship wasn't good, we weren't treated good, we were ignored, like we might choose those types of things, even if they're not right, but it feels familiar. So I think now that you've made these positive changes within yourself and you're such a good dad, like look how their relationships as they're older and their whole life and future generations of lives have changed because of that, right?
Yes, yes. And it's a beautiful feeling just even knowing that and hearing it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you come from not being what you're expected to be, and you start intentionally, and like that's the biggest thing. Like I intentionally did these things. I made the decision to say, hey, and that strength of its own, the peace that you've created in your life, right, is more important than anything. Once you don't feel at peace in your mind, then everything else goes off track. And only you can bring the peace back. So being that what I'm doing here is really a small thing. It's just one man who changed his life, but it inspires so many people that it inspires me to inspire more. So I'm being inspired by myself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I never intended to be a light or a motivational speaker or none of that. But that's what you develop into when you take care of yourself and you want people to feel like this. So
yeah,
it's still all for me, though. It's still all for the family. It's still all to keep it simple. I'm never going to get overwhelmed by the experience. I enjoy the experience. So whenever, nothing about this experience has been negative. Nothing.
Wow. Amazing.
Not one thing.
And I'm just curious, like we'll talk a little bit more in detail about the watermelon cleanse too, but I'm just curious, would you date somebody who like didn't take care of themselves like this? Like maybe somebody who had a totally different lifestyle, or like how's your dating life? Would you only date somebody that like really prioritizes taking care of themselves in a similar way?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No question about it. And why wouldn't I? You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's giving up a piece of mind already. If they're not taking care of themselves, and they're not, if they have to even be intentional about it. Like, I don't even want somebody who's on the verge of taking care of themselves. And that's just because I know where that person is at, because I was there. And that person needs to take care of themselves before they can get with somebody else. So if we're not on the same frequency, no way, no way. So yes, only raw vegan, only people who intend to be high level, only people who intend to not be a part of the system and all of that. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you say to some people who might think this is so extreme, right? Eating only fruit or eating watermelon. And then they say like one day you're going to be carnivore probably because that's what happens. Do you ever see yourself maybe going back and becoming like the other direction and eating only meat?
No. So never.
You'd be meat up. Right now Bobby's online. He's fruit up. So I guess you'd be meat up.
Meat up? No.
No.
Hey, we can meet up to fruit up. You feel me? So I'm like, no, but what I'm not opposed to is eating more cooked food and stuff.
Yeah.
And because I got a plan anyway. So next year I'm gonna be high level fruit eating, mono eating, like maybe one fruit a month. I got a little plan for that. And then I'm gonna go back to more of like the Doug Graham 80-10-10 diet, you know what I'm saying, where you can eat a little cooked foods here and there. So I'm not the way that I appear to be. I'm not an extremist. I'm not somebody who look at people who eat bad food and think they the worst people on the earth or nothing.
No, it's me just, too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what people do. It's all about your own health. And I know that eating fruits is the optimal way of living. But And that's why I challenge myself so much. The challenge is to keep me in line with the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because every
Yeah.
time I come up with an extended challenge like this, it makes me enjoy other fruits more, and it keeps me eating fruits and stuff. So it's like people don't realize I'm only a year and some months into this lifestyle.
Yeah,
So
wow.
everything I do is to sustain the lifestyle.
Do you still get cravings ever for like the old lifestyle that you used to eat?
Well, no, I get cravings for the stuff that I eat when I eat, like cashews. I got
Yeah.
these harvest home, whatever harvest baked lentil chips and stuff. I love that type of stuff. It's because it's salty and crunchy and all of that. But I know myself. Like that's why I stopped eating cashews, because I was eating them like a pound every other day.
Me too. I
You know
can't
what
eat
I'm
them.
saying?
Yeah. Me
Going
too.
crazy. It go crazy. So I'm still in that mindset where if I get to indulge in other stuff, I'll fall off the wagon.
Hmm.
So that's why I challenge myself to sustain the way that I live. And it's been working for me. It's not to encourage other people to live this way or do the things that I'm doing. It's all for myself, and people just tune in and watch it.
Yeah, I agree. And the cashews, like the cashews can be so hard to digest. That's one thing that's great about the mono fruit cleanses, like the watermelon cleanse. It like, what do you think are the general benefits for somebody? Like to me, it's great because just the one fruit, it's such a great break on your digestion. Like you don't even understand how it is unless you experience it for yourself. And I know like most people, 100 days is crazy to most people. I get it. They're like, that's too overwhelming of an even thought for them, even though
Right?
I'm sure a lot of people could benefit for that. But even just doing like for an average person, like even just doing like 3 or 5 days, it's amazing. Even like by the end of the first day of just doing like watermelon, it feels so good. And you feast,
Yeah.
you don't fast, have as much as you want. And it does so much for your digestion, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. I tell people all the time, if you could eat all the bad foods you wanted to, right? Like say you had a day of the week
Hmm.
or a day of the month where you just indulge in the worst stuff ever, right? If you had the discipline to do a 3-day juice cleanse without eating or something like that, immediately after that, you could do that whenever you wanted to,
Hmm.
because the cleansing is always going to help. So that's why right now I'm on a weekend juice fast. I'm drinking all watermelon juice the whole weekend.
Oh, no way. I'm on
So
a juice fast too. Day 3. I
yeah,
feel so good.
yeah, juice fasting, and I miss juice fasting. So I went and bought 8 watermelons today. And I was like, because they were so cheap, and I'm like, I couldn't help it. Like I got this addiction when I go to the store of buying watermelon. It's
Me
like
too.
I can't let it go. And I know it's the easiest stuff to juice, and it's the cheapest stuff to juice. You get so much juice
You
out of
get
water.
so much juice from it. You know what's my favorite? Watermelon and mint together, just the two. This is so
Mm,
good. It's the best.
yeah, I
Do
do
people,
watermelon
what were you gonna
lemon,
say? Yeah.
watermelon lemon. That's what I do.
And do people look at you like you're nuts? They look at me like I'm nuts when I have like a cart of like 15 watermelons. They're like, what is up with this chick? Is this for a school program or what?
A lady just asked me at the store today. She was like, "You have a Labor Day party or something going on?" I'm like, "No, I just juicing." And she like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I get so much juice, and it's an extended weekend, so I'm gonna be juicing through Monday." But last year I was making lemonade, so I'm about to start making lemonade again. And I forgot how much I miss juicing and how good you feel, how light you feel.
Oh my God, me too. So yeah, I was in Florida this summer in New York and I was like overeating, eating a lot with my kids like the last few days. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like, I haven't done a cleanse in a while. I'm gonna do like a 5-day juice cleanse or something. And I'm on day 3. I feel so freaking good. You sleep so good. You wake up and you're just like wide awake. And it's weird, like you get so clear-headed. I get like excited to go to sleep, to like meditate and have like amazing dreams and stuff. And your
Right.
digestion, your body, it's a huge thing on the mental health, I feel like too. It's such a connection, right? Between our gut and our brain.
Facts. And the fact that you're able to do stuff like that means that you maintain a lifestyle,
Yeah.
because most people can't eat bad with their kids for a while and then go do a 3-day juice cleanse.
No.
So that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to do that is high level.
Yeah.
So that's being able to do what you want. That's creating your own reality. That's control. So I can go do this and come back to this. Most
Hmm.
people go to that and never come back.
Yeah.
So it's all about discipline. That's a form of discipline that more people need to have. And that's what doing challenges like I do create, to get to points like that, to where I can go, have a vegan burger or something with my son and not
Yeah.
feel bad about it because I know I'm gonna do 48 hours of juice. You know
And
what
you're
I'm
gonna
saying?
feel like this. And it's worth the time. I know a lot of people think like this type of lifestyle is expensive and it's so much time, but it's not. I always say, like, look at my YouTube channel, look at how much content I produce, look how much I'm doing all the time. I'm not in the kitchen all the time, or I wouldn't be doing all of that. And it just
Hmm.
gives you so much energy. Like, I know the last time I'd cooked food, it's a huge difference. And it really made me think, I wish the world could just try eating raw for like a week and see how much different you feel eating the raw living foods versus eating the cooked foods. It's freaking crazy.
The vibration of the planet would instantly raise if that happened. And it's crazy because how good you really feel is underestimated. Like that's what people don't realize. That's why, because people focus too much on the look, how
Hmm.
they want to look. If you focus on how you feel every day, you're going to look just fine.
So
So
true.
it's just the reality of it. I get up every single day and I am in joy with making this stuff for myself. It's very simple. Mono eating especially. And I'm not saying everybody on this level, it's a practice. I only talk the way I talk because I actually practice what I preach. And that's when you're a serious individual. I don't care who you are. If you practice
Hmm.
what you preach, no matter what you do, you know what I'm saying? You succeed. And so
So true.
getting up and I feel good. So if I get up and I don't feel good, I immediately know I didn't do something right.
Hmm.
I didn't, and sometimes you can like one day, me and my baby mama had a conversation and it didn't go right.
Hmm.
And I went to sleep right after the conversation. And
Uh-oh,
I
yeah.
got up feeling terrible. And
Hmm.
I immediately called her and addressed the situation and fixed it. Because it was like, I don't like feeling that way. So it
That's
ain't just,
good. Yeah.
yeah, it ain't just about eating. I've grown so much in every area of my life. I don't want to feel bad about nothing. It's like I don't want to leave nothing on the table that I'm going to be held accountable for. Like if it's something we can fix, let's fix it. We don't have to go away feeling bad about anything. We're adults. We need to act like that. You don't even have to act like an adult. Be one.
I think it's just so mature of you as a man. It's so amazing. And that's how things should be. That's great to see. That's my biggest problem in my relationship is I'll bring something if there's a problem, like I want to communicate, fix it, and then the other person just runs away and will like block me for a week or two. And it just makes things worse. Like I don't think you should go to bed angry, like you said. And like the things need to be resolved. I think it makes it 10 times worse when people try to just like run away from things. It's just freaking nuts to me.
I tell you, like I used to say, because this is so funny. When I was sick and unhealthy, me and my son's mom would argue, right?
Hmm.
And we were sitting on the same couch, and I would be silent because I'm upset.
Hmm.
And I used to tell her, if a man cannot tell you what he's upset about, something's wrong with him. It's just the reality of it
Yeah.
because that's that's carrying energy that doesn't need to be carried. Like it doesn't. So I release all of that. I'm a very expressional person. That's why you see me online and I'm very passionate about the lifestyle. When people come at me, I come back at them because that's just in my nature. And it's okay if it's a part of your nature. I don't reach out to people to affect their lives in a negative way. People
Hmm.
come into my life, and if you approach me in a negative way, I'm going to send it back. But no man should ever be afraid to express himself in this lifestyle. This lifestyle, fruiting up, eating more fruits and raw foods help with emotions. They
Big
help
time.
with old trauma. They help with all of that. So men who don't, I love talking to men who are unhealthy and who are just like me because now they can see how I've always been expressive, but I know how to express better now.
And you
You know
have
what
a
I'm saying?
group, like you do coaching. You have like a men's group or a coaching program or something, right? I can link
Yeah.
below. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got a Facebook group where you can subscribe for $29.99 a month and get group coaching. I got private coaching. I help women. I help men, and I'm like a what you call an empowerment coach, or I hold you accountable and,
Hmm.
and to raise your discipline, to build your discipline level because that's where life starts at. with your ability to do for yourself. That's discipline. So discipline and being high discipline, the worst is a form of being a disciple. You feel me? Like high disciplined people are very, very extraordinary people. And it's
absolutely.
funny because discipline is something you can work on. It's actually something you control. So just get up and work on it every single day to the best of your ability. And it starts with what you put in. And once you start putting this in, everything else will start making sense.
Yeah, and eventually, like, so much of your life changes then with all those habits each day and all that discipline, right? And really, truly, don't you think our lives truly begin from the inside? And that really starts with like how we eat, how we take care of ourselves, and all the habits we do every day.
Yes, yes. And it's a practice. It's a practice. You got to practice. Like, it's some people who can't tell people how to get out their life. It's some people who don't know how to be themselves because they're worried about what other people think of. You know, those are things you can practice on. Like myself, how I fell in love with myself, one of the ways I did it is I started watching all the videos that I put out all day long.
Wow.
And I just, and it was a part of me, like, I just love this guy that I'm watching.
Yeah, I
And
love
learned
that.
ways
Wow.
to fix, learn things to fix, learn ways that I could be more comfortable. And I just fell in love with myself. And you don't have to watch nobody else to learn things. You can watch yourself and learn how to be a better person.
Yeah, I love that. I
Yes.
love that. And it all starts with that. Like, that's just the best life when we have so much self-love and when we're like the main character in our life, creating our
Yes.
best life. You know, I do like
Yes.
watching. My favorite YouTuber right now is &Doughty. Have you watched him at all? He has a lot of stuff on like, shadow work, traumas, like not caring what people think, living your best life. He's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite. Yeah. Well, with the watermelon island, I was gonna ask you too, did you work out? I know people will ask me if you still worked out and like how has working out in general been on this type of lifestyle?
Okay, I don't really work out a lot. I never have worked out a lot. Even when I lost my weight, only thing I did was like a 3 to 5 mile walk slash jog at the park.
Yeah.
I would do that every other day, and I take a lot of walks. Now I'm starting to work out a little bit more to build a little muscle and
Yeah.
things like that. But a lot of it's come from pressure online to build muscle and this and this. So I had to sit back and think, how do I want to look? How do I see
Yeah.
myself? So the vision that I have for myself is the vision that I'm going to create. So I'm going to build a little muscle, get toned, and I'm not out here to be all in pictures, looking sexy and all that. I don't care about none of that. You know what
Well,
I'm
you
saying?
still look
Like,
good. You look good.
oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. But that's not my. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm here to become a high level being, and that's it. That's really it.
Well, that's a good goal. That's like the best goal, right? And how did you break the watermelon fast?
With the grapes, I did them on a live on Facebook with seated.
On day 108, right?
Yeah, well, the next day, 109. So yeah,
What
yeah.
made you pick that day? Anything in particular?
So the original day was 76, then it went to 103. Cause I'm very fond of the number 13 because a lot of the things that I know and a lot of the teachings that I received came from a dude named the 13th Son online back in the day, like in 2010, 11, when I was really learning about this lifestyle, about fruits and all of that. So it's just like a way of paying homage to the number 13, which is the highest number in the universe. And a lot of people gonna argue with me about that, but that's fine too. But that's just what it was. The number a play on the number 13, but it went to 108 because I started another Facebook group called the All Melon Washout, where we had 370 people in there trying to eat all melon for a month.
Wow.
So I extended it 5 extra days just to finish off the month with them.
Wow. You're changing
Yeah.
the world.
Hey, got to change yourself first, right?
True. So true. And did you drink water at all on the watermelon fast? I know people will
A
wonder
couple
that.
times, just a couple times when I didn't have no watermelon available. I went to Philadelphia to see Yaki Awakens event. And during that time on the road, I drank a couple bottles of water because I was
Yeah.
fasting. But other than that, I didn't really drink no water. I always drank watermelon slushies.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. And is there anything else like you want to share about the watermelon fast that you think I've missed?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a great experience. I had a whole lot of fun. It's encouraged me to do more fast. I did decide to do 103 days of grapes, but I've already just getting back on the juice and getting back on these other fruits already got me second guessing that. So I'm gonna reevaluate that. We might do 103 days of grapes. We might not. We might do like 30 days or 40 days of them. And other than that, just a great experience. I appreciate everybody who joined. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let's keep fruiting up. That's what it's all about. Being what I call I enjoy instead of being on the exterior part of it and looking at the people who always joyous and then saying, I want to be that way. You can be. You are. You just have to start feeling it, which is putting the right things into you.
Yeah, so true. Well said. You're such a great speaker. And I feel like, well, it's September now. I feel like watermelons, when do they go to season? Is it October? Do you know?
Yeah, around October, like 𝒂𝐿, I think he probably said he gonna reach probably like 150 days on all melon. You got to interview Kev too. He phenomenal. And he just probably to the end of October, middle of October, you can find watermelons.
Yeah.
And they're really inexpensive right now too.
Yeah, people still have some time to do it then. And then grapes come into season, right? In the fall, I think. Grapes are a good one. I did 28 days on grapes once. It was probably the hardest cleanse I ever did, but it felt like the most detoxifying. Like it was super
Why was it so hard? Why did you say
I don't know, but it was really difficult for me to get to the 28 days. I found watermelon easy, and I find juice fasting like really easy. The first 3 days sometimes are like you adjust to like being hungry and I have to drink like a ton. But the grapes were the hardest, but it felt like they really cleansed. Like I grew up in a secondhand smoke, like it was the 80s. It was pretty bad. I feel like the grapes really cleansed like my lungs and sinuses, like on such a deep level though. They were amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to all fruits, and I'm just looking forward to continuing the journey and going into the Miami Woodstock Fruit Festival, you know what I'm saying, high level, and eating all those beautiful fruits, because I never ate fruits off the land at that capacity. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm probably going to go to that. I'll link that down below with the code you guys can save. I'm probably going to go to that too. It's going to be amazing. But well, this has been amazing. I always love having you on. And for somebody who's wondering like how you normally eat, like what does a typical day look like of eating? Do you ever eat greens or no?
Well, sometimes I do. Like, it's very rare though. But this year, this month right now, I'm actually in the Fruit Up Till 5 challenge that I created, where people are fruiting up till 5 o'clock. And then after that, they can have whatever kind of like anything they want. It's just kind of like to get more people eating fruits. So I'm in there with them. I told them I was going to ease my way back into, you know what I'm saying, eating regular. So a regular day, though, would be like, I really liquid. I'm all liquid, probably to like 1 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'll eat fruits depending on how hungry I am. You know what I'm saying? Mono meal. And my favorite meal, though, is pineapples and apples together. Like, it's fantastic. I had that yesterday, pineapples and Cosmic Crisp apples. I love that. I love apples, too. So mono meal, those with smoothies are my thing. I eat a lot of smoothies. And really, that's like a typical day. And it's gotten to that point, though, because I don't eat as much. You know what I'm saying? So, but with my son being here and cooking for him and stuff, it did get a little difficult at times. You know what I'm saying? Like, more difficult than I even thought it would. Smelling that food and him getting mad at some of the stuff I was cooking and stuff. But other than that, that's about a typical day, though.
Yeah. And on the watermelon fast, I don't think I asked you. People will wonder, did you eat only seeded? I know a lot of people try to eat only seeded. I know sometimes that can be so hard, though, to get all seeded watermelon. I don't, but no, you didn't.
I ate about 80% seeded. But I'm going to tell you like this. Some of the seedless watermelons I got were phenomenal. Like, they were sugary, watery, and they're less messy. So, but I do prefer seeded. Definitely, they were definitely hands down the better ones. Yeah. So, and they're much bigger too. Yeah. So, but I ate about 80% seeded melon.
Yeah, awesome. Yellow watermelon's good too. I love that. Have you had it?
Yeah, I had some yellow and orange too. Yeah, I only had one each though over the summer.
Yeah, I've never seen or had orange. I gotta see.
I'm not a big fan of either. Like, I mean, the yellow wasn't bad, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a traditional watermelon person.
Yeah, me too. I prefer the traditional. Yeah, well, this has been awesome. And everybody go follow Bobby. I'll link his pages below. Go hire him as a coach, join his groups, go support him. He's incredible, changing the world. And it's all started with him. And I think you're awesome. If there's anything else you want to end off with or anything you think we've missed as to where people can find you, then let us know.
Well, thank you for having me, Gillian, too. Your platform actually you know what I'm saying, gave me a great visibility.
Good.
People still reach out to me like yesterday about the interview that we did the first time. So I appreciate you too. You definitely a huge inspiration and
Thanks.
big time in the community. So keep doing what you're doing. I like the way you're traveling with it too. That looks
Yeah, I love
really,
it.
really,
It's just fun, you
yeah,
know? Yeah.
yeah. So, but other than that, follow me on we're on my platforms, Fruit Up 13 on TikTok and Instagram, Fruit Up with Bobby Smith Facebook group, Bobby Smith on Facebook. Like you said, we got the coaching, we got the t-shirts going to Fruit Up. You can get at me for those. And that's what it is. We're gonna
Yeah.
continue to fruit up at a high level and continue to try to help everybody else do the same thing.
Yeah. And we'll have to come see you in person next time.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Thank you. Fruit Up.